Ganesh Pyne's sketchbooks are a visually poetic treasure trove. They reveal a fantastic inward journey that began 60 years ago in the narrow lanes of overcrowded old North Calcutta. A place where the evening lamps could not invade all the nooks and corners of his century-old ancestral house. A place where gloomy shadows mingled with childhood memories of those who died in the riots during partition. Grandmother's tales lent wings to Ganesh Pyne's vivid imagination, an imagination well furnished by the great myths and legends of India. A lifelong preoccupation of Pyne's has been the inversion of traditional meanings of symbols. In his paintings, light draws attention to darkness. The crumbling temples of his childhood become tombs. Kirtaniya's surrender is transformed into a skull. Streams of life look like rivers of war, with floating carcasses of the sacred. Echoing his late poet friend Shukti Chattopadhyay, Pyne seems to cry out, "Whose corpse is this? Is it of the mariner or of the ship? Was it headed for the harbor? in the darkness of the night, a lonely fisherman gets caught in his own net, and his boat runs aground. A forlorn merchant sees his own shadow as death. A dead mariner seems to dream of the relics of his sunken ship. Pyne conceives of life as a journey to death. Solitary travelers wend their way through the night, driven by fear, drawn by death. A wheeled vehicle stops. A pathetic warrior, weapon in hand, rides a wooden horse into an abyss of darkness. As if chased by an unknown foe, a night mail runner clutches his weapon of defense. The paintings are visual allegories of individual lives under the shadow of death. Pyne makes his lonely journey in an urban jungle. It begins with recollections of childhood, indelible impressions of himself and his brother, listening to grandmother's stories by eerie lamplight. After secondary school, Pyne entered the Calcutta Art College. He was specially fascinated by figure studies based on the skeletal core of humans, animals, and birds. A fascination that has long since become a part of his visual idiom. Rembrandt's treatment of expansive darkness, Paul Klee's playful images on dark backgrounds, Abanindranath Tagore's use of ambient light, and Gaganendranath Tagore's mysterious lights resonated in Ganesh Pyne's mind and became vital inputs to his creativity. Illustrating his friend Mukund Latt's Ardha Kathanak in 1981, acquainted Pyne with Indian miniatures, and his style of rendering human figures changed from them. Ganesh Pyne also has an active interest in theatre, cinema, and literature, and has drawn some of his imagery from these allied arts. For instance, his concept of humans dancing like puppets at the command of superior forces. Shambhu Mitra's production of Rabindranath Tagore's Raktokarabi inspired Pyne to paint one of his earliest significant paintings.
ও কখনো মরতে পারে না।
কিন্তু মহারাজ, মহারাজ তুমি ভুল বোঝনি তো, আমরা তোমারই বন্দিশালা ভাঙতে বেরিয়েছি।
আমারই বন্দিশালা, তোমাতে আমাকে দুজনে মিলে কাজ করতে হবে, একলা তোমার সাধ্য নয়।
সর্দাররা খবর পেলেই ঠেকাতে আসবে।
তাদের সঙ্গে
The assassin owes its inspiration to a stage production he saw.
লা ইলাহা ইল্লাল্লাহ মুহাম্মদ রাসূলুল্লাহ। হে খুদা পরওয়ারদিগার, মেহরবান খুদা, হিন্দুস্তানের মসনদের জন্য সারা জীবন আমি বহুত গুনাহ কিয়া। আমি আব্বাজান তাকেও বন্দি করেছিলাম হিন্দুস্তানের জন্য।
Pyne has often derived imagery from great films. The Trevis fountain scene of Fellini's La Dolce Vita inspired Pyne to paint his fountain. The scene in Bergman's Seventh Seal forms the basis of a number of Pyne's paintings with two characters. Well into his 50s, Pyne, the bachelor, married Mira, the love of his early youth, and moved to his new home on the 6th floor of a South Calcutta high-rise. But not high enough to elude the tragic bent of his psyche. He can see portents of death, even in the fullness of love. Associations with and manifestations of death almost inevitably visit his paintings. Death makes its presence felt, sometimes in the images, sometimes in the colors. The sacred provides no solace. Heroes are vanquished by death. Life's lamp flickers. A young woman nurses a skeleton within and faces an unknown foe with an ineffective weapon. A Baudelarian flower of evil causes a girl to lose her innocence. approaches its prey. Brief candles do not dispel the darkness. Ritual propitiations to the gods do not prevent lifeblood from flowing out. Solace at the feet of departed heroes like Chaitanya can also be illusory. Now, when Ganesh Pyne sits on the 6th floor balcony at twilight and sketches, his eyes do not turn to the lovely greenery all around the lakes near his home. His vision is inward and is a distillation of memories transformed by imagination into notes, jottings, and diary sketches, some of which later mature into full-scale tempera paintings on canvas. It is from such a diary page that we see how a stanza from a poem by Octavio Paz and a line from a Tagore poem led Ganesh Pyne to metamorphose Fellini's Trevis Fountain. And Ganesh Pyne continues to dream his dreams with his hands. There is an underlying autobiographical element in many of Pyne's paintings. In fact, in a number of them, he actually presents himself as a character. In an early painting, his look-alike looks bewildered. In a recent one, he looks self-composed but melancholic, with a wistful gaze that seems to have its eyes on things past. Ganesh Pyne's paintings have always been rich with ambiguities. He himself is somewhat enigmatic, a lonely person in a crowd, a wide-awake dreamer who can never forget existential reality. Ganesh Pyne can look back at his life with pensive satisfaction as he continues his mysterious journey into night.